I said my up through LeBron, which is 5 for me. Then Kevin Durant ended up being 7, and Jokic was 8. So there's
Okay.
one guy in between them who we haven't mentioned yet.
All right. I'm excited for this.
Trae Young. And
Okay.
it's kind of the point. I didn't do this on purpose, but it's the point just made with Jokic. Like Trae Young was the engine. I mean, he was more than just the engine. He was everything for the Hawks offense. Like people say that some of his teammates weren't that happy with how much he had the ball, but yeah, I mean he did everything for the Hawks, but he was legit. Like he was like 30 and 10 on very good efficiency. He's a threat to shoot the second crosses half court. And we kind of talked about a few times before just like how valuable shot making and shot creation is in the playoffs. Like he's the type of player too who he gets a lot of assists, but it's not just the fact that he gets a lot of assists that like he's a good playmaker. He's creating wide open threes and he's creating dunks for bigs. Like that's kind of like the best type of things you can create. So I mean, we'll see how it works this year when he has actual offensive talent around him. He has spot up shooting around him. Basically, there's no reason for the Hawks not to have a great offense this year. But and I don't know. I think the numbers were somewhat respectable with Trae on the court. I know with like Trae off the court and overall they were pretty bad offensively for the Hawks, but they also were the worst 3 point shooting team in the league. And it wasn't. And like Trae was a good 3 point shooter despite shooting very difficult shots. So clearly wasn't on him. Yeah, I mean Trae's just you get 2 more years of rookie scale, then probably a 4+1 max might be one of the more expensive maxes if he makes an All NBA. But still, I mean engine of the offense at that going into his third season. And yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I think you might be slanting your list a little bit more on the younger guys than me, which I can understand, and that it's just two different ways to look at it. But I had Trae Young quite a bit lower. I have him not even in tier 3, but like I don't know, something about really small guards are concerned me a little bit. I know Curry kind of bucked the mold because they were so good, but there's not like a ton of teams that have had their best player be point guards, and I don't know, like he can get exploited on defense. Like obviously he's amazing and he's like what 21 years old and his shooting is insane and he was 30 and 10 is like unprecedented, but I'll be super curious to see this year when they actually have more players around him if just like what it looks like with him. Is he still going to dominate the ball as much? Is he still going to score over like 27 points a game? Like, are they actually going to be good? Because like you said, they were terrible. I think they had like the fourth worst record in the league or something. Just like a lot of things where I'm kind of like, prove it. I just want to see more of it. I didn't watch a ton of Hawks last year, but I don't know. Like, I guess I just slanted a little bit more towards the more proven guys in this scenario. But yeah, you have 7 years with him, and he only makes like 6 million this year, which is nuts. So yeah, if it was like a draft, like he would certainly be really, really high just because of his low dollar. But like since it's more of like a trade value, like I don't know if I'm also going to be able to put all these great pieces around him for sure. But I don't know, like I don't hate that you have him up there, but I certainly I don't know. I have at least a handful of guys that I guess I like more um, in the
Yeah,
immediate.
I'll be interesting to see which guys you have ahead. I could probably guess based off like how you said how the different ways we're slanting now, but yeah, it just kind of just comes down to and the fact that he could get better. I mean, it's probably likely that he gets better considering his age, but yeah, I just really believe in the fact that he can be the engine to a very good offense.
Do you think there's any like Isaiah Thomas, Boston Celtics pre-hip injury vibe to him, like insane scoring, spark plug point guard, but just like literally a bottom 5 defense in the entire league. Like you have to pay attention and scheme around him on defense, and like those Boston teams are actually good, and I don't know if the Hawks are good. Like I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna work on a good team, but it doesn't mean it can't. I just don't know.
Yeah, I just think the thing that makes Trey so different is we've seen small scoring guards and small guards who have other skills, but like he's probably a top 10 passer in the league on top of his like offensive creation abilities and the fact that he has to be guarded at 35 feet out. Like you, if you run a pick and roll with him, you have to guard him 4 or 5 steps outside the 3 point line. That just makes life so much easier for everyone around him. even if he can be a little, I guess, ball hoggy and people don't feel like they get enough touches when he's on the court, he's still going to make every touch you get easier. He's either going to set you up for an open shot or he's going to draw so much defense attention away from you. So I just think he provides so much value in both the playmaking and the shot creation. I really want to see how it works in the playoffs though. So
Yeah.
that'll be a real test whenever they eventually make it there. But I just think this kind of new age young guard scoring guard stuff that he's got like that just makes it so hard. Just the fact that he's shooting from so deep and insane creation abilities on top of that. Yeah, it'll be
Yeah, I
interesting
mean,
to see how it gets when it gets tested at the highest level.
right, yeah. I mean, he's definitely on my list, and I'm thinking about, yeah, him getting hunted in the playoffs on defense, and yeah, just want to see more of it. But I mean, can't knock it too much. I just have him a little bit lower.